So this is Urdizzle doing a walkthrough of my 4 Pro Tour rounds for week 75. Starting off with round 1. My bag's the Pure Fuse Explorer. I've been using the Accurate Windbreak River. It's been working nicely since the 912 update. And a musket and, of course, the Light Glide Ballista. So round 1, we're starting off with Windswept. And we've got a wind of 4 going left to right, but one thing I've noticed with the new 912 update is the wind doesn't really have as much effect as it used to. So I was just going to play a slight hyzer and let it slide out, and luckily I got a good ground play. So 77 feet, this is one where I really want to make, and that one's dead center. And although the accurate sticky's been a little messy for me lately, a little high, a little low, I just don't have it dialed in. It worked pretty nicely there. So hole 2, again, nothing too tricky here with the Mando. Just want to punch it through the trees, get it to knock down, get yourself a putt. And so this layout for round 1 was actually the same as the daily tournament the day before, which I had pretty much dialed in. I think I shot a 16 under. And so it was right here on hole 3 that I realized that it was actually that same layout. And so you'll notice my decisions for this round 1, like what discs to throw, where to aim, got much quicker. I was pretty happy with that, knowing I shot a 16 under, knowing all the wind. And so, especially right here is a good example where this par 4, I've got a headwind of 2, but having played that daily tournament, I know if I just put it right up over the top, that wind is not going to have the same effect as it used to. And so I'm just hoping to get somewhere out in the open field there and get myself a shot. And so right here is the first putt. You'll see that's way too high, where my accurate sticky was just hasn't been as dialed in with this new update. It has a little more lift to it. Now this par 3 here, I really wanted to ace this one. I had it dialed in during the daily tournament, and that was an awful effort. Just wasn't even close. I didn't even draw a medal. I mean, it's an easy birdie, but that's really one you want to get, especially first round to kind of set that tone. Same thing with this one. Now normally this is not a gimme ace run, but I had the river dialed in where I aimed just above the 6 there, throw a sidearm, and I was hitting this quite a bit, and I really thought I had a good shot, just kicked a little to the left. And so at this point I'm a little disappointed I didn't get either 5 or 6, but I mean, it is what it is. At least we started off with a couple eagles on the first 6. So this one as well, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thinking albatross, gonna play a little hyzer on it, get it somewhere over there, and this one immediately out of my hand, I was like, oh crap, that's going OB. And I got really lucky that it just cleared the water. And so having this 57-foot shot, I wasn't too worried about that. But yeah, out of the hand, when I first threw it, I thought it was good, and then as it started to turn over, I thought I went OB. And so I was pretty happy to get an albatross out of that one. Now this is an interesting one too, the Island Hopper. I would almost never go for this one in previous tournaments, but knowing the winds and knowing how this is going to play, I'm absolutely going for eagle on this one. Play the fuse, and so play a little hyzer. And right about here, I thought it was going to hit the ground and skip left out of bounds, but it ended up doing a little cut roll. Nice tap in eagle. I mean, you can't argue with that one, but under normal circumstances, I'm not going for eagle on that one. But the fact that it was part of the daily tournament, I was a little more comfortable. Now this one I really wanted to ace as well. And so I felt pretty good about the Explorer, playing it out here, and if I could end with an ace, I was feeling really good. And this one just missed a little left. So with the albatross, I ended up 14 under, which was 2 shots off of the daily tournament, which is fine, but I was very happy with that one. I mean, 1107 rated round, so very happy with that one. And fortunately, that actually put me in second place because someone else shot a 15 under. So second round, I wasn't really feeling the Explorer too much, and so I ended up switching the Explorer out for the Wind Glide Ballista. I've been using the river a lot more, and so hole 1 here, nothing too bad. I was actually trying to ace run it with the Ballista there, just throwing it up. Didn't get it, but I knew it wasn't going to get too much ground play. And so right here's another example. 57 feet. I got really lucky with the accurate, sticky, pure. Just way too high. And at that point in time, I was starting to doubt that disc a little bit. Like any of the throw-ins from about 55 to 100, I just was not confident in right there. And you'll kind of see that as the round progresses. So this one, I actually left a little short on purpose, because now if you don't go too far, this allows me to kind of run this shot. So I'm taking the fuse and I'm actually trying to make that. And knowing that I've got that hill as a backdrop, if you go a little too far, you can't run that shot, because then if you miss, it slides right into the water. So sometimes on that one, you actually want to leave it a little shorter. But birdie's fine on that one. This one here, I would normally throw the musket, but I had the ballista, the windbreak glide ballista, and it works really, really well. But honestly, the accurate glide musket would be just fine as well. I could use either one of those. So that one slid a little too far, but I mean, that one, I'm pretty annoyed if I don't get that one, even with the wind. So starting off 3 birdies, not bad. This one, when I saw the hole, I was thinking maybe up over the top, but then I saw it was a 3 wind left to right. There's no chance. So I'm just playing this one for the birdie. And here, though, now I swapped the Explorer out, so I had to use my River. I really would have liked to have the Explorer on this hole. In fact, I would have used it on both the first 2 shots. And so here I had to play my River up and around, and it still worked out fine. I still got the birdie. I mean, no one's getting an eagle on that one with a 3 wind, unless you get a crazy throw-in. So I got the birdie, but it started to make me think that maybe I should throw the Explorer back in the bag. This one, the ledge hole, again, birdie's fine on this hole. All I really want to do is throw it over on that left ledge, give myself a shot at eagle. If I get it, great. If not, no big deal. Just get the birdie out of it. And so I've got the distances kind of dialed in, where it's putter and then fuse. So right here I would normally throw the Explorer, but I didn't have it again, so that's 2 holes in a row. So I ended up throwing the River, and I just don't quite have that River dialed in yet. And so the height on that one was good, but that one didn't really have a shot of going in. But I'm still going to get my birdie out of it, no big deal. But that's the 2nd hole in a row where I really would have liked to have the Explorer. So next round, I'm probably going to make some changes. This hole in the new update is much, much, much harder, because you don't get the wall play. So I'm just going to take a musket and just throw it way high and let it crash down. Hopefully it skips towards the basket. And so this one actually hit the rock and skipped backwards and then rolled a little bit. Now again, this is in that range where I'm just not feeling comfortable with the accurate sticky right now, so I throw it, and again, I leave it high. Not as high as that one a couple holes ago, but again, at that point, I have no confidence in any of those shots. So I'm just hoping to put it within 20 or 30 and not have to throw them in. So Mando hole, this is Oak Hill. It's Oak Hill hole 9. Again, just want to throw it up there. I'll even sometimes throw a ballista way up in the air and just let it crash down. But I don't really get too bothered with this one. Just throw it somewhere down there, get the easy birdie, and get out of there. So going up to this hole right here, I've not explored the rollers as much as I should. So with this, with a 2-win right to left, I don't want to say I'm giving up on the hole, but I'm just going to play this sidearm out there and give myself a throw-in opportunity. Now again, this is that range where I'm just not, the accurate sticky's just not really working for me. So I'm going to give it a whirl. The last few I've left high, so of course what happens on this one, I leave it low. So that one, I was a little annoyed I didn't get that one, because I think the hot round on this was a 10 under, and that would have given me the eagle. So I'm thinking here, I got this one, and I had not practiced this hole at all on the new update, and it almost cost me right here. So I threw my ballista, put it on a hyzer, thinking it's going to pop over left, and holy crap, it did not. It just turned and turned and turned and turned, and I don't know how I didn't go out of bounds. So I'm way, way, way over here, just glad I didn't go out of bounds. But then I'm looking at the distance and thinking, I might actually be able to make this. So I'm going to bust out the sidearm, River. And so this one, I'm actually trying to make it. It's a good distance. And so the height was okay, but it just never really had a shot. And so ended up, as long as I don't miss this one. So I end up with all birdies, 9 under. I think the hot round was 10 or 11 under. So honestly, there wasn't a lot of opportunities out there for eagles. So I'm okay with that round, especially with my 14 under from the first round. And so I think that round put me in first place by a stroke, maybe two. And so this third round, you will notice a couple things change. I ditched the accurate sticky pure and put in the accurate glide. I also put the Explorer back in the bag and took out the Wind Glide Ballista. And so the first shot here was just not a good shot. I got really lucky. I thought that was going to roll back down. So to be up on top of the hill, I was really, really happy. And of course, first shot with the accurate glide pure, what do? I leave it AM side, splash out. But honestly, after the drive, I really didn't deserve to have an eagle putt on that one, so I'm okay with birdie. This hole, again, this is, I think, one of the harder holes in the game. And right here, I thought for sure that was hitting and rolling. I don't know how that rolled left. I thought that was rolling right out of bounds. And so right here is the true test from 51 feet. I am not throwing that in. I am putting probably out to about 55 or 60. And so I actually felt pretty comfortable with that. When most people will throw it in, I was going to putt. And so right here with the wind of 3, I'm going for this. I absolutely want eagle on this one. I want it up on the top shelf. And so right about here, I thought good about it. Good kick. And then it's going to roll away, away, away. And luckily I clipped that rock. Otherwise that would have rolled probably 50 feet to the right. And so again here, 50, I'm not throwing it in. I'm putting it. So I aim just a touch to the right, put it out there, hit pro side, no problem. I'm really happy with that one. No issues on that. So then we switch over to windswept, and this hole reminded me a lot of the hole on round 1. It's just throw a musket, hyzer, sidearm, leave it up there, easy putt. No worries. I'm not trying to ace run that. I don't need to have a 50, 60 foot comeback putt with that wind. Just take your birdie and get out. And this one. Again, the wind doesn't seem to have as much effect with this new update. So my plan here was just to play a little sidearm, put a little turnover on it, and just leave it out there, and it worked very nicely. And right about here, I wanted to skip, and it skips up just enough. And so 58 feet, it's a little out of putt range, but right here, this is the putt. I felt good about it. That is the putt the first couple rounds that the accurate sticky just was not working for me, and that one felt much, much, much more comfortable. And then hole 6 here. Again, some people go wide right, wide left. I just like to throw it up in the trees, crash it down, let it slow the disc down, and that was a really weird hop to the right. Left myself 46, but again, that's easy putt range. But yeah, just slam it into the trees, drop it in there inside 50, get your putt. I'm not ace running it. Get your birdie, get out. So off to Crow's Nest, and this is one where if you're playing this hole in the daily tournament, you're ace running. If you're playing it in a multiplayer or the Pro Tour, I don't want to say this is the easiest birdie because there's some sunshine holes, but this is pretty much a gimme. I mean, no one's missing this one. Just play a fuse up there, get your birdie, get out. Which leads to this guy. Now this, with this wind of 2, used to be a gimme eagle for me with a musket. But the musket is a little bit more overstable, so when I throw this, I put it on a little turn. Right about here, I am really, really, really worried about what's going to happen off that rock. And I get a double kiss. I mean, again, that used to be a gimme eagle hole, but I worry a little more now because you really got to put a turn with that musket. Otherwise, it can hit those rocks, get a cut roll, whatever. And so seeing this one, I'm really happy. I don't want to say this is a gimme birdie, but all I'm doing is playing it up there, get my birdie, get out. I mean, if I can get a shot at an eagle, great, but anywhere up here is fine. But now I've got my Explorer, which I didn't have before. I had the River. And so I feel more comfortable with the Explorer and just throw it up there and see what happens, and bam. That was a hell of a way to end the round. So ending eagle, 1064 rated was a perfect way to end round 3, and I think that actually gave me, here's the scoreboard, so that right there gave me a 1-shot lead over second and then a 3-shot lead. So I was feeling pretty good right there going into round 4 with a 3-shot lead. And so I let a few scores drop, and second place shot an 8 under. I think Drano shot a 13 under. So going into round 4, I'm thinking to myself, I want to shoot at least maybe an 11, maybe a 12, so that I don't have to worry about anybody jumping in and catching me. And so that was my goal. 11, 12 under. 12 under was nice if I could do that. So starting off on blueberry, all the blueberry holes are par threes except for the one. So I'm probably not going to get too many opportunities on this to do much with it. Now right here, I had a sidearm fuse dialed in some of my practice rounds. So I picked my same spot. I didn't really adjust for the wind, and I threw it to see what would happen. And that one just was too low. So I probably need to readjust where I aim on those, but I really would have liked to at least hit metal on that. Having a 45-foot comeback putt for birdie is not what I envisioned, but at least I didn't par it. So this one, I really would have liked to have the wind glide ballista, which I don't have. I'm not throwing the light glide ballista, and so here I'm just going to play the musket, put myself 100, 150, see if I can get a throw in. And so here I've got that accurate glide, and I'm feeling pretty good that I can at least hit metal on this one. And as soon as I let go right there, I thought it was in, and it just carried too much. Hit the band. So I got a tap in birdie, but I really would have liked to have eagle on that one. Now seeing this hole did not make me happy, because that means I know there's probably going to be a couple tricky holes coming up from Grizzly. This one, I just want to play it out there, avoid the tree, get the tap in. I mean, the fuse is so straight now. Throw it down there. No worries. So I'm really worried at this point what hole's going to pop up next. And so seeing this one does not make me happy, because this one can very easily hit the hill, roll back down. And last time I threw this in round one, I think it was round one, it was not a good shot. This one was absolutely perfect. And so sitting right there, I want to make this every single time. So throwing the glide, bam, a little AM side, but I was very happy with that one. And so knowing right now if I can birdie out, that puts me at 10 under. So somewhere in here I want to get an eagle. Now this one, I'm throwing the river. It's very straight. And right about here, my butt cheeks puckered up because I saw that rock right there. And I thought for sure it was going to hit that rock and kick somewhere, and it did not. So that one, my stomach definitely jumped a little bit on that one, because that is a difficult drop zone. So now, seeing sunshine here does not make me happy, because I need 11 under, and I need one more eagle somewhere in here, so I really, really, really want to ace this one. And right about here, I thought I had it, kicked out. So I know I'm not going to shoot 12 under, because at most I've got a par 3 and maybe the par 4 coming up. And so right here, when I see the par 4, I'm like, I've got to eagle this one. I can't go 10 under, I've got to go 11 under. So this one I'm playing right through the trees, hoping I miss them. And right about there, I knew I was good. And I mean, you can't do much better than that. Slides up, stays out of the trees. And this is the putt, 50 feet. I'm not throwing it in. I'm going to go ahead and putt it. But that's the range where the accurate sticky was just a little sketchy. And so most people are throwing that in. I'm putting that. And so right here, I feel pretty good. If I can ace this one, I'm a 12 under. If I birdie it, I'm 11 under. So I'm going to throw a sidearm river, which has been working really well on this hole lately. And so I throw it, hoping. It just kind of hung a little wide, but pretty easy ground play. So I'm going to get my birdie. So I'm thinking right now I've got an 11 under, but 51 feet again. I'm putting, I'm not throwing. So I'm feeling okay right now, but I'm a little concerned that someone might jump up. So I'm not sure if that 11 under is going to be enough. Again, I was aiming for 12 under, and looking at the final scoreboard, luckily no one else dropped anything higher than an 11. That Jarambu dropped a 9 under. Dan Heiser came and I think shot all his rounds together, ended up with a 45. Nobody else really shot anything hot, so I was able to hang on, win by 2 strokes. Again, I was a little concerned I didn't quite do enough that 4th round, but was able to hold on. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Pro Tour walkthrough, kind of in my mind of what I'm shooting and why I'm shooting certain shots, and I will end up uploading this to YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back sometime later.